Hey, so this is verse of the day. I've not done it in a while and I've not made a video in a while, but yeah, I'm back now. So this is a passage. It's James 4, verse 13 to 17, and I'll read it out and then I'll talk about it. And it says, "Now listen, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go to do this or that city, spend a year there and carry on business and make money. Why do you not even know what will happen tomorrow? What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. Instead, we ought to say, if it's the Lord's will, we will live and do that, this or that. It is you boast in arrogant schemes. All such boasting is evil. If anyone then knows the good they ought to do and does not do it, it is sin for them." So basically, people say, tomorrow or later in my life, I will stop following God and I will get right with God then. But the other verses, saying Matthew, was talking about, say, signs of end times. It says, be ready, always be ready for them to come. And recently there was this thing where people were thinking that the rapture was going to happen, which it's obviously not, because Jesus said no one knows the day or the hour, not even the Son, the angels in heaven or the Son, only the Father. But he said to always be ready, never don't be ready. And that's what that is saying. That's what I think that's saying. And say it could be spreading the gospel. And it's also reminding us in the end of verse 14, "You're a mist that appears for a little while and vanishes." It's reminding us that our life is short and we don't have long to do it. And then we'll be on Judgment Day. Well, once the trumpets go, or once we die, that's our fate sealed, if we'll be going to heaven or if we'll be going to hell. And verse 15 says, "Instead you ought to say, if it's the Lord's will, we will live and do this or that." God doesn't want us to live by our own will. He wants us to put his will first, because his will is his plan and he wants us to trust his plan. And then the next verse he says, it is boasting and arrogant and evil to do that, because he wants us to obey him, and the next verse is saying that is evil. And it says, if anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is sin for them. So it's saying that links back to verse 1. You know you have to get right with God, but you don't do it because you're lazy and you want to do it later in your life because you think it will be easier. But the time is to get right with God is now. And then he's saying that that's sin, and sin causes separation from God. The more I can't remember what verse it is, I don't even know if it's a verse, but sin separates you from the presence of God. It doesn't say just because you sin, you're away from him, but living in sin takes you away from God. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about today, but thank you for watching, and bye bye.